close-up or so of the fabulous pool setup he's got here. This place is absolutely fabulous out here.
It is.
You're hearing Allie
There's some
doing.
warmers over there that I want to go steal.
Ah, yes, out there. No, it's actually it's almost, I would say it's Chamber of Commerce weather.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's
When you
absolutely
have a nice
perfect.
little coat on.
Yes. Of that.
But how many people can wear an outfit like this in October?
There you go. Not.
And wait, let me just throw this out here.
Yes.
Roy Fleckert, the hillbilly of Marina Valley, is wearing slacks and a blazer.
There you go.
It's crazy.
You didn't think I would ever do that,
I had
did
no
you?
idea that you even owned something like
Well,
that.
this is the only
I'm
one
very
I
proud
have.
of you. And his shoes. He has like brand new shoes. They're clean.
Yeah, because I've never worn them.
It's scary.
I've had them for 20 years, never worn them.
That makes sense then.
On that. Yeah, it's a really
It's a beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful evening.
actually this area is great. It's called Overlook or Alessandro Heights out here. For those of you around, it's by Alessandro and Troutwine going over towards Ridgecrest. It's a fairly, they built it up in the past 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, every home out here is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Out there.
All custom built, looks like.
Yes, all custom home
A lot
built.
of land.
Yes, all the people who are on the successful side are living out in this area.
No, I feel unsuccessful. That's right. At least I work for KMET 14 anyway.
Well, yeah.
Really. Life just doesn't get any better than that.
Well, yeah. How could you be more popular than that? That was a great thing, though. I was in. You don't think we do have an impact, though? I was at the Smart and Final last night. Rolled through the check stand, and the checker said, "How was it out at the fair?" And I says, "Well, how do you know it was at the fair?" She said, "I saw you on IE Newswire." Because she said, "Well, where was the monster trucks?" And I said, "Well, we had a little trouble, but I said we finally did get them on at about 8:30. But I said if you go to IE Newswire, I said you can see the doctor,
Dr. Strange?
no doctor, the fire department, fire chief blast the car down, and we caught the last
Wasn't
end
that
of the
Dr.
march.
Strange?
I thought he was the fire chief, something like
No.
that. Whatever it
I
was,
don't
the
know.
guy with the big fire truck that burnt down the cars with the jet
Oh,
engine.
him.
Yes.
I thought you meant the car that was caught on fire and the guy drove into it. That was crazy.
Oh yes, that was that was Doctor Danger.
Dr. Danger.
Doctor Danger was
Who's
the
Dr.
guy that
Strange?
drew.
I don't know. That's some Marvel character.
Well, he was strange.
Anyway.
Well, you'd have to be a little strange to do the stunts
No,
that he
that
did.
was awesome.
Yes, a that on that. But yeah, it's kind of, and I get that all the time. I mean, people just they recognize you from.
I
seeing
never
you.
do.
Oh, they do.
I just hear it when after it's said. But it's usually not a good thing.
No, people don't recognize you going around.
No.
You got to pick up your profile a little bit.
I would like to
You got
not do that.
there is a benefit to being loud and obnoxious sometimes.
Is
like
there?
I am. Yes, people recognize people.
He thinks people like him.
Everybody loves me.
No, a lot of people do respect you and like you. I think you have a good voice in the community.
You do
You're
that.
making
Let me
it
switch.
a little quieter and more positive. So I think that by you doing that, I think you're getting more of an audience.
So you saw
I
my.
appreciate it. And he's cutting me off. See how he does that? Carry on.
So I'm switching the camera to see if it is going
Yeah,
to.
now you're just
Oh,
breaking
that's the
things.
other one. Let's
He's
see if it
breaking
switches the main camera on there.
And he's playing while
Yes, we're
supposed to
doing
be
that.
doing a radio
No,
show.
it does because let's talk a little local politics because there was a school board meeting last night. At the school board, and I made up there to speak. And part of that, what I said, what kind of struck me is what's going on. There's the anti-bullying and everything going on. Well, how is it that when you're on there and doing it, and you're calling out others as the administrators or school board members, how is it that you're calling people out and bullying? Or seems that maybe you do the top one. I think we're doing photo. Hit that one there.
That's to pause.
Oh, so where'd the cameras go?
I don't know.
Somewhere. Yeah, we're playing with. Maybe hit the red thing.
Roy's breaking things.
Oh,
Carry
it
on.
says
Keep
pause.
talking.
But anyway, that's what my main emphasis was the everybody's calling out everybody in these whole enchiladas, and they're saying, well, we don't want anti-bullying. Well, if the kids and everything see the administrators bullying or calling people out on that, how is that supposed to work? Now you're telling the kids not to do it, but you're doing it. Any thoughts?
Yes. Wondering why our camera is
Yes.
pointing at a grass and a bunch of empty chairs is my thoughts right now while I'm trying to mess with this. I agree, and I think that a lot of people, including you, including myself, and a ton of residents in Moreno Valley are guilty at doing that. So that's where we, since we are media and we are out there, and I mean, everybody seems to know you, we need to bring more positive into there. And I think that that begins with us and you, but really all of us, but mainly you.
Yeah, thanks.
But no, I agree with you completely. Like that young little man that was up there for, I don't remember which meeting it was exactly, but a couple weeks ago, he was up there crying to the board member saying how disgusted he was with the behavior of the adults. There was a young lady that actually physically walked with Ted Dior when he was out there at Landmark saying he wanted to keep him safe. I mean, children should not be the ones doing that. They should not see that. They should not feel that way. They need to feel comfort and safe, and that all begins with us as adults.
Right, and that's what I would see on all sides across the board on that. Thank you. Of what's going on, and that goes for the school board members. And I think in part of that, one of the school board members in particular has been up there and has been very critical, firebrand of a lot of people and things like that. And it was kind of the emphasis of what you started, and you asked me to say something nice about the school district, and I did,
and it was returned.
And Casiodora said something nice about me, and I asked Daryl Peden, the newly elected school board member, to say something nice about Highland Fairview and Edo Benzivi, and so far I've seen silence on that. So,
but I don't think that we need to ask somebody to say something nice. I don't think that that's where. I know, because I just wanted to see generally if you can actually say something nice. But I don't think that I think by us doing that causes anger, and like you're not letting that go. And I don't mean to call you out on that or anything, but you still have not let that go. So let's not ask for somebody to say something nice, and let's just go out there and do something nice.
Well, right, but I mean, I'm saying if you're going to get rid of the angst in the community and the dissension and all that, I think that whole thing. Everybody's played a role in this, and at times, yeah, you have to admit, or you should say, yeah, I have done some things maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe I'm going to change my ways. Maybe we are going to cooperate. Maybe we will. Let's look at some of the good things that are in that, and it doesn't take a lot. It takes no more effort to say something nice about somebody than it does to put out everything negative on that. And no matter what, there's a good in somebody somewhere at some point.
Exactly. So start doing positive.
I do.
You do.
Thank you.
But drop the crap with the board already. I say that in a loving way.
Well, no, they are the ones ultimately.
Everybody is. You're pointing fingers just like you're saying.
But they are the ones that are. Fingers. Yes, they are the ones that are responsible for. Ultimately, they are our representatives of the people to run and do that school district. So part of the job is doing that, and they are the ones that need to take the leadership, I believe, in this and say, okay, which when I did ask that, I mean, Susan Smith did say something nice about that, which was not where I was directing it, but it was good that she took that emphasis and did that, of doing that. It would be nice if others would reflect on that and start doing that so we can actually, because I think ultimately what everybody wants to get to is a solution to the problem. And so we don't have to go through the things that we have been recently experiencing in our community, across the state, and everywhere else. Would you agree on that?
I don't know. I wasn't listening. I'm trying to figure out our cameras.
Yes, one of the cameras is not reading on our little application, but oh, there we go. We got it back.
No, we don't. Look at our live stream.
We're just showing that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's all we've been showing this whole time.
That's all we've been showing on
Yeah.
that. So, well, let's go back to Skype. Maybe Skype's giving us a problem as we try and diagnose
It
this.
is a beautiful view, but I want everybody to see Roy's outfit because I'm shocked.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I burnt the camera up on the whole deal on that. You know, uh, maybe it took on the link of that on doing that for that. But yeah, maybe it can't believe that I'm.
No, but I think, like you're saying, though, I think that we all just need to stop pointing fingers and come together as a community, see where things are going wrong, and fix them. You're not going to fix every single thing that you feel like needs to be fixed. They're not going to fix every single thing that I feel needs to be fixed, or half a community. But they are trying. Everybody's trying. The city, the community, the state. In some way, they are. But we just all focus on the negative.
But yeah, and that was
we need
part.
to find the balance between we need to fix this and execute it in a positive and kind of manner and not go up there and call people stupid or make them feel down for what they're doing. Not saying that you are, but I'm just saying in general, everybody seems to have this tone to their voice like I'm better than you, I can do it better, why aren't you doing it my way? That needs to stop.
Because yes, when and that was the second part of my deal is the leadership, the school board should be directing, and in my view, and I did mention a little bit because the week before went the landmark. I did talk to Jared, the communications consultant they hired, and I said, and as I said there, and we were more got more in depth into it, that you know, way I see it, and most people will respond. You need to come out more aggressive and say, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to fix it. Yes, we made mistakes. Yes, maybe we have been ignoring some stuff, but this has got our attention now, and we are up to doing it and fixing it. And this is what we're going to do. People respond to leadership. People respond to someone who has confidence.
I feel like they are doing that, and I feel like they set up all these meetings at Landmark, and especially that parent night, the community night. How many parents were there? I think there was maybe 5 that showed up, and it was nicely set up. There was tables, there was chairs, there was snacks, there was waters, there was boards to write down your problems and what you wanted to see change, and there was nobody there to voice their opinion. But yet, how many parents show up to a board meeting to go up there and say, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong? They give these people these opportunities to say what they want changed and how they feel like their way can be better, and nobody shows up. So how do you change that? That you still can't blame a district for when you need to be blaming yourself for that. But how do you get someone to see it that way?
Well, again, I think people give up on that because they don't see somebody standing up there from the
lady, saying, she said, if you have a problem with what's being done, and this was, I think, that next day at Landmark, and it was packed, it was filled. She said, if you don't like the way something's done, my boss is there, and there. Go tell them. They put themselves out and said that there was something that they aren't doing wrong, but that you can voice if there is something that they're doing wrong. And I feel like people aren't taking the opportunity to make a change. They just want to sit there and complain. They're all rallying together and getting angry together and feeding off each other and not helping in any way other than saying you're doing this wrong.
Well,
that's all they're doing. They're just wording it differently. And half the people that are saying you're doing this wrong don't even have children in the freaking district. So it's, not that they don't have a voice and not that it doesn't matter. I'm not saying that, but how can you say that there's so much wrong when you don't know anything that's good? My kids love school. They come home, they're learning, they're smart, they get to do fun things because school should be fun in some way. I love our school district. I think there is some things that are wrong in there, but I think there's a lot of things wrong in other districts as well. I'm not going to sit here and pinpoint things that are wrong, though. Let's just work together as a team and try to fix how we can correct it.
And another issue that I'd like to, and hopefully if when they come in, or if Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez comes in here in a few minutes, we're paying right now we're paying well over $4 a gallon gas in California, a dollar and a half over the average in the United States. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. People are upset about it. You put a post up about that, of doing that, and it will ultimately kill your economy if you keep running that. If people can buy gas for $1.78 to $2.50 a gallon in every other state, and look what we're getting for that. We're not getting if we were paying $1.50 more a gallon and we had the world's finest road system, our roads were perfect, no traffic, you could get anywhere, at least you would have a justification for spending that money. But when your roads are clogged, we have some of the worst condition roads at some of the highest construction prices to build and maintain roads. Something is going drastically wrong here. And it's like the school system. I mean, Gavin Newsom recently signed that bill that it makes it extremely difficult to, uh, take kids that are disruptive in class and suspend them, and on and on and on. It just seems like we're in this insanity cycle in California. I mean, how do we break it?
I have no idea.
I mean,
I was leaving that to you to figure it out. I mean, you're the brains, but between the both of us.
again,
I'm just kidding. Who's that?
yeah, I see a intro quote into that one.
No.
Jesse, make sure you save that one coming across the deal. But no, it's it just seems like every day you wake up and there's just something weird, just nonsensical going on in this area, in this whole state. I mean, it's just like every day there's a barrage of something, another this, another that, another tax coming on. They're doing this. They're picking your pocket, and each day, each year, you're slipping further and further behind. I mean, it's like they said, we're they keep running this fifth largest economy in the world, yada 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 rank and stuff. We have 50% of the homeless here, and it's getting worse. It's just like, how do you stop the slide? What is it that people? This is what fascinates me. What is it, the disconnect that people get, from? They're voting for all this stuff. They're voting for the politicians that are putting this stuff in. Then they're complaining about it afterwards, or what happens.
I'm still fixing the camera.
Still trying to fix
it. Don't expect me to talk. There, I kind of, since we can't switch, now they can have her back. Look at his jacket, everybody.
There you go. Well, I thought you said they couldn't see the camera.
They can't. They see this one. This is the only one that's streaming, is the one behind us.
Is the one, okay. So,
So they got the backside. This is what they get to see now.
So, they are actually getting the picture of it. So
yes,
is this
they're
camera
getting
lit
just
up?
this camera.
Oh, they're
is
sitting.
What they've gotten this whole time. They've been staring at the grass. I hope you enjoyed the view of the grass.
Well, that's
fans and the people standing by the bar cooking for us.
Yeah, that's what they're getting prepped.
And now you get Roy's jacket and my tattoos.
There you go. On the.
Don't pay attention.
So I guess we should have a vote. Which do you like better?
What, my tattoos
yeah,
or your jacket? Oh yeah, please vote in. Now I'm really actually curious as to what that answer is going to be.
So how do you? That's why we're doing this. We're trying to figure out our remote system, and
Roy doesn't know how to switch cameras.
Well, you want me to try it?
I don't know.
It could
try
go poof on that.
Almost
on that.
Fine.
Yes, we're doing that. No, we're gonna give it. Hopefully, we're gonna give it another shot.
You know what we could do? We can always just turn our chairs, and then they get half of us. It's like a Dateline interview.
Oh, there you go.
It's going on right now.
See if we can. See.
Really, it's like a Dateline interview.
There you go. So
that's funny. I'm freaking genius.
Oh yes.
Anyways.
Well, that's why you're here. That's why we're kind of pushing this stuff out to figure out. We're doing some experiments, seeing how the equipment works. That hopefully will be out in Friday. We're going to do on Friday. We're going to be back at the SoCal Fair on that. Hey, there's the president of the Lincoln Club coming in, Ben Clymer. Hey, Clymer, come on over here. We need something. We'll see if we can light Clymer's mic up. Grab a mic
We
here.
can turn his mic on.
Oh,
Yes.
I need to get ready to start serving.
This
Oh
is
no,
the camera.
no, you're not. You're gonna
Filming.
stand here and we're gonna put you on camera on the air. Sit down on there. Stick it.
Here's your headphones.
Here we go. Let's see if we can. We can pan out on that way you can hear him. Let me see if I can switch. We'll give this camera thing switch and thing a shot, and see if we can get us all in the picture.
No, it
What we have. Give me a mic check on that. Say hi, Ben Clymer.
Hi, Ben.
There you go.
Nah,
We'll
like
see
him
how that.
already.
Here's the president of the Lincoln Club who's putting on this cocktail mixer from that on that. So Jesse, turn your mic down. Jesse, turn your mic down. So all of these technical differences. Yes. Ben Clymer, president of the Lincoln Club, was putting on this whole thing. Melissa Melendez is going to be the keynote speaker out here. Tell them what's going on out here, Ben.
So we are here live from Mazarei, one of our dear gracious hosts, his wife Zara and his family and he, and we are here for our cocktail. Beer, other alcoholic beverages, but nobody has to drink. It's more.
There you go. So tell them what's the impetus? Mostly there'd be political and business movers and shakers that will show up. Tell them kind of what will we be discussing, what we'll be talking about this evening.
So this evening we're going to be awareness to candidates and issues right here at the local, state, and national level, but we're focusing mostly on our local levels. So our school boards, our city council races, we'll have several candidates here, as well as talking about the fundraising we're doing for such great causes such as the Center for Central as well as the California Policy Center. I don't even think that people know what those are. As well as transparency to the residents in our local areas.
And that's what we were talking about at the beginning. There's obviously been some very heavyweight issues in Moreno Valley on that in the school board. So it is really important that people focus on their local offices because this is where you spend 98.7% of your time, and this is where you can have the most effect on your political process.
That is absolutely correct. Mr. Breitbart, prior to him passing away, was famous for saying all politics is local. So if you can get engagement from people at the local level and then get them to realize that they themselves, the individuals we look at in the mirror, we're the power source. Really getting individuals to understand that versus, we're the powers in Sacramento and the powers in DC. No, that's where the control levers are, right? That's
yes.
the republic we were given.
Right.
So the power source still lies with us. So getting individuals to realize that is what the Lincoln Club is all about.
That's it. Thanks for being on. I know you're busy, got to go, but thanks for being on. Ben Clymer, president of the Lincoln Club, who, along with Ali Mazarei, is putting this event on.
Thank you. I look forward to learning more. That sounds interesting.
Yes. So, that's it. Again, that's part of the. Oh, yes, of that.
All up in the camera.
Well, let me see if I can switch it over there. We're doing that, but no, it is very important. And as we were talking about before on the on part of it, I think in order to do this in the future, and what you were talking about is why people don't do that. They not only do they need to come out when there's an event, something like what happened in Moreno Valley, they need to stay more engaged all through the year and become more involved and pay attention to what's going on in your local areas.
And like a lot of those parents are saying, like, why weren't you more involved with what was going on in the schools, to the school district and officials and all that, but why weren't they more involved as well?
Yes.
Everyone, I'm telling you, it's because everybody wants to point that finger.
And again, you come to the part of it when you get on there. It's too late sometimes after the fact, but when if you get more involved, if you pay more attention, or if you start asking questions or bringing issues up to the school board or your city council or your county supervisors or whatever, and the more people that are doing that, there's the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
And if nobody's saying anything, how many times, at city council meetings or school board members, there's hardly anybody there in the audience,
Exactly.
and nobody's doing that. So, consequently, on top of that, you go on that, and the powers to be, your guys, your representatives, thinks everything's hunky dory because they're not hearing anything of. They're thinking, well, if nobody's saying anything, we're just, everything must be going great.
Kind of like our radio show. Nobody gives us feedback on what they want to
Yes.
talk about, so we just let him talk about air for an hour.
Yes, I will talk about air for an hour
Type
on,
in and let us
on
know
all
what you
that
want to
stuff.
talk about. Let me throw that out there.
Yes.
But no, I completely agree. I think more people need to get involved. I think it's very sad with the lack of communication between residents, officials, government officials, the safety. I mean, everybody.
Yes.
Sad.
It is something that we
And
need
even when they have the outlet, they still don't take advantage of it. But I do know that the school district is putting some stuff on the website to make it more accessible for people that want to be anonymous. So maybe the city can do something like that too. I'm not sure if they do because I don't follow it as much as I used to. Guilty. But I think a lot of people are intimidated to come up to the board and say good job or I don't like this. I think a lot of people have that.
Oh yes, it is, and I understand that. It is the number one fear. In most cases, is people in public speaking.
Right.
So they go across and they don't do anything. They they're nervous, keyed up. They don't want to do it in that, and that they don't go up there and say something or let that uh, whatever their concerns are, good, bad, the ugly, indifferent, on top of that. So again, you have to there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing much that's going to happen to that. Even if it might not be, it might be a condition where you don't want to do that or that. Sometimes you have to do that and go up there and say something to do that. And but because if you don't, nobody else may, and then
Exactly.
something may happen, something that. So it's up to all of us to get more involved in politics as usual, or politics, and especially, like as Ben Clymer said, in your local stuff.
Exactly.
Because like I say, 90 you figure 98.7% of the time is where you spend around your home, around your work, in your area.
And why wouldn't you want to go out and make a difference and make it better? I mean, I try to just by doing little things here and there and get you to
Yeah.
start talking.
We're on the air, coming over.
And he's talking over it. And I
Yes.
love working with you
Yes.
sometimes.
No, go
My
ahead.
Barbara Walter
Hey, grab a
moment
seat.
is just done.
You're on the air.
Yes, we're on the
We
air
are,
live.
and we're throwing you on. Here's your microphone. Roy's going to turn you up. But let me
Boy,
grab the
that's some
camera
good
because
prep.
You turn,
I'm the
yes.
cameraman today.
You can grab the headphones if you want.
There we go.
There he is, the newly elected, former mayor, all-around Grand Chief of Calamasa, now 5th District County Supervisor Jeff Hewitt just walked in here on that, and welcome to the show, Mr. Hewitt.
Hey, Roy. It's. I get a lot of pleasure out of life, but I'll tell you what, I get a lot of pleasure out of being on your show.
Aw, that's too kind. I know it's not because of Roy.
Did that sound creepy or what?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I really enjoy being on your show. How's that?
We did a lot of I mean, we had a lot of stuff going on in the campaign. Your campaign was very intriguing to me, and I think it's from a political standpoint. We got to, and see if I can get Jeff a little bit in the picture. We'll slide in a little
It's
closer.
not picking up that camera.
Yeah,
That's
so-
all right.
Matter.
Yeah, so on that, now we got Jeff in the picture. a
No,
little-
this camera.
Okay, but or is it? I'm seeing him on mine.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. But anyway, your campaign was very intriguing because most people thought you didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning, and you shocked the world by getting in the primary and the runoff with Russ Bowe, and then you wound up beating him in that and getting elected supervisor. The guy from the smallest city in the 5th district. What's Calamasa have residents, like 6,000?
No, 8,000.
Oh, you're up to 8,000.
No, we're 8,500. I'll tell you.
Wow.
And I've had 500 of myself. I have a lot of kids.
Wow.
I'll tell you what. When you say snowball's chance in hell, thank God for global warming. This snowball
I
made
love it.
only because of global warming, right?
Yes, and it was.
Whichever way you get there.
But I say it because if you would have listened to conventional wisdom, you probably wouldn't have even ran for supervisor. Because I mean, I know a lot of people told me, "Oh, there's no way you would can win this race and all this stuff," and but you said I'm that's not going to deter me. I know I can win, and what's even more important is you're bringing a perspective in politics that really needs to be there: free market, personal responsibility, and using the taxpayers' money wisely. Give the folks your what you did for the city of Calamasa and the fire department and how it turned that city around.
Yeah, it's I live by one real simple rule, and that's I do have one boss. I mean, other than I have one boss, and that's my constituents, whether it be the 8,500 people of Calamasa when I was on that council, or whether it be the 500,000 people of District 5, and totally the 2.5 million of Riverside County, who I go ahead and weigh in and make a lot of decisions on things that are going to affect their lives. And if I can't work for the very people that put their trust and their faith in me, to go up there and try to make the right decision. Now, am I going to make the right decision every time? I guarantee I won't. I'm not going to tell you how many wrong ones I made because I don't want to give my detractors any more ammunition than I already have. But I always go out there and try to do the right thing based upon my principles of free market, of limited government, of more personal freedom. And also, if you're in government, there's important things like, I'm going to tell you, our public servants, there's a lot of good people in government. And there's a lot of people that really care and they do the things, and a lot of things that none of us would like to do. And it's really important to keep morale up, keep them wanting to come in and work and do their job. There's so many different dynamics to this job that I'm finding it not only a great challenge, but very enjoyable if I can move the needle on a whole host of things. And that's what I've been doing in the first 9 months, and I'm looking forward to do that for the next 3 years.
And again, tell the folks about your experience with the fire department in the city of Calamasa. And what intrigues me is how much money you saved the city of Calamasa by reforming the fire department.
Well, so for instance, when you have a challenge that comes to you, you're looking at, we got this budget, it's about $5.5 million every year, and public safety, which is the police and fire, which is probably what most people consider, the main priority for what citizens do. And that takes up anywhere from 60 to 85% of most city budgets. Well, we were right at about 60, 65%. And then when Cal Fire, who basically was the one that the county was using, their union came up and said, hey, look, we got to put 3 firefighters on. We were the only fire station out of the 100 fire stations all across the county that only had a staffing.
Oh wow!
And so when they forced us, they said you got to put on 3. Really, you have to hire 3 sheriffs, and it was going to cost us over $750,000. That would have put us up over 80% of our budget. That leaves 20% for staff's salaries, all the rest of the potholes, parks, anything else. So I couldn't see trying to raise taxes for a whole bunch of totally surcharge, parcel fees, certainly we couldn't get by on just the points itself. We didn't have the base. That's what that's good. But the team together and we saved the city. Now we're saving about $1 million a year, and it's we can't even add up what's going to be saved down the road on these pensions because we have 401ks for firefighters.
So you saved 20% on the Calamasa budget just by reforming one part of it, the fire department. What I want to get into, and we got about 15 minutes left, is Riverside County. Riverside County has a lot of challenges. $5 billion budget.
It's actually 6.
6?
Yeah.
Up to 6. they have what an incredible pension unfunded mandate, a cash flow shortfall of funding the pensions. I call it the Riverside County is bleeding cash at a record clip. And if the county as a whole does not reform this or stop it like you did in Calamasa, it could get ugly in my view. But you've seen a lot more of it. You're sitting inside. What's your take on it?
Well, it's not all bad news. So what's been happening is through this boom. It's a large county, it's a large organization, large infrastructure. With 23,000 employees. It's like running a state. In fact, there's like 15 states that are actually smaller than the county of Riverside. So what happens is when you've got these big problems going on with unfunded mandates with pensions, particularly CalPERS, that's something that's looming and it's starting to affect us right now. But we also have to rein in spending on union contracts. Because even though, in particular, I was in the union, I'd seen this great, expansion that we've had since the Great Recession. It's been the longest expansion since World War II. I'd be thinking, hey, we need to get these pie too. But unfortunately, the Great Recession was so long, and if other things are going up at the same time, and we're not getting revenues to the county, then we've got to look at this holistically. So, I've been trying to work on making this fit, legislative needs, so that we can deliver the services that our county residents you raise it you get more.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things that are but you know what? There's really good outcomes. And I'm excited about it.
I am too. For that raise morale and you get a better outcome.
There you go. Yeah, happy people.
I just want to make sure Roy heard that part.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I see an issue here. And here's Roy. He's kind of like delusionally happy all the time, like I am.
He is.
And I see that he's got, his, should I say, his workforce, and maybe she's not being, taken care of.
See, he mixed it up.
Yeah. We're not going to talk later on. Maybe I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I think
Jeff handles all the problems.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Yes, I think
ask for a better.
I think I'm getting buried in this whole
A little
enchilada
bit, but
here.
that's all right. Thank you, Jeff.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
I'm here to serve.
Well, you're doing a great job.
You're one of my constituents, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's gang up on Roy Day.
Hey, we're making it a fun show.
Yeah. No, but
right.
we were talking about it. Ben Clymer stopped by, president of the Lincoln Club, on that. We talked about it earlier. People should be more involved in their local politics, in my view. You spend 98.7% of your time in your local area. I mean, the Trump stuff, national, even the state, gets a lot of attention of that. But really, the effects sometimes they have on your life or the things they're doing up there is much different or much less than the decisions that are made at your school board, city councils, county board of supervisors.
Right. And here we go. Here comes a handsome devil right there. Look at that guy. This is like the Grammys or something, or the Oscars. Look at this guy.
I know. I feel kind of underdressed.
Hey, how you doing? Whoops, Senator. Good to see you.
There you go. Mike Morrell just walked in. What's up, Chief? You got it. Yeah, they're starting to flow in now. Melissa Melendez, I see, just walked in on the setup. But no, again, there's a state senator in there of that. But we find up with a lot of the stuff. But it is the stuff that's going on in our local areas, and people just. I mean, I don't know if you've seen a pickup on it, but I would say the council chambers, when you're having a board of supervisors meeting, should be full, and most of the time they're not.
Yeah, if we've got a big union contract coming up or something, they'll show up in force, which is, that's good. But I would say that, yes, the more here we go, are we okay?
Yeah, you're good. Just keep going.
Is this it? Or?
Yes.
Oh, here we go, Smith.
I think it's,
Here we go. Look at we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting static.
Is this impedance?
Yes, you're getting impedance in your head.
I'm impeding.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
so
that.
anyway,
It's
here we
all
go.
Jeff's fault.
It is my fault. I caused that everywhere.
There you go. Now she's cleaning up.
Okay, so
Yeah, as he untangles his headphones cords, that was what was causing the stuff.
anyway,
no, we're learning this remote stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
Those of us that are old enough, we used to have wall phones and stuff. And
Yes.
So, you could go over and still be cooking in the kitchen and hanging. We had the same kind of phone with that. Anyway, I like to also make a plug before I forget it. We have actually coffee with the supervisor each month in different parts of the district. And I would ask you to go on our Facebook page, on the county Facebook page, and that'll tell you we got one coming up Friday.
Yeah, there's actually one coming up on the 23rd.
On the 23rd.
On the 23rd. I'll get you.
Where? Yes, keep talking.
And so
Supervisor Jeff Hewitt at Supervisor Jeff Hewitt for Instagram, Twitter, and
yeah,
Facebook.
you can go at Supervisor Jeff Hewitt for Instagram, Twitter,
Facebook, and Twitter.
And Facebook, and you can find out where. And this is where you can interact and come in, and we just sit down and we talk, and that's the way I find out some things that maybe I don't know or haven't come. If you've got any kind of gripe, come on out, and it's going to be actually this one's going to be maybe you can. However,
It's lemonade with the supervisor.
There you go.
I love that.
yeah, we're going to make lemonade out of lemons.
That is that's really cute.
Can you tell the audience where?
The Nuevo Public Park.
Library.
Oh, library.
The New View Public
Oh,
Library.
it's a
Oh.
beautiful new library too.
Public library,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
And then
you
there's
got to
one
come out
more.
and see that new library in Nuevo. I mean, Nuevo is not considered a metropolitan area by any means, but they have got a world-class library out there. You got to come out and
That
see
was in
it.
Moreno Valley.
We
on 14th
just
and
dedicated that earlier this year. And former supervisor Marion Ashley had done a lot to bring it there, and it's just great. If you want to bring your kids down, they've got great books, they've got computers, all kinds of things there, but it's just a wonderful library. And it's a place for learning, it's a place for communicating together. And this is where we try to work out some of our differences, because I guarantee you, with 2.5 million people in this county, a few of us probably have a few differences. And when we get together and talk, more often than not, we can find some common ground. And that's where the conversation starts.
And another one you're going to have in the big kahuna in your district, the city of Moreno Valley, which is the biggest city that you represent in the fifth. Yes, on Thursday, November 14th, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Coffee with Supervisor Jeff Hewitt. Those are some of the best places you can get to interact with your representatives because it's informal. You're not at the Board of Supervisors meeting. You're not on TV where people can. You can just walk up to talk to Jeff. And I will say this, don't be afraid. Jeff is one of the most personable guys. He's probably like me. He could probably talk about air for an hour, and even more important, make air sound entertaining.
He makes it sound way better than Roy.
Yes, he does even better job than I do on that.
But-
No doubt about
I've
that.
got a lot more original material because he's been on the radio since Walter Cronkite.
The fossil over here.
So, no. I'm jealous of him. I mean, this is one of my dream jobs. First of all, to be a preacher, when you can lock somebody in for 2 hours giving a sermon, that is awesome. But a talk radio host, just think about it. You're on there for 2 hours, 3 hours a day, whatever else. It is phenomenal to be able to just talk about what's important in the day. Now, if Roy could read, he could read the paper, and then he'd have a lot more impactful subjects.
Exactly.
But instead, he's
Yeah, I'm pointing at.
got to watch the TV and see. No, I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
I love this guy.
Yes.
Roy is now up to 3rd grade level.
Yes.
Which coincidentally,
Yeah.
because of some of our public schools, is much higher than the average of 12th grade. But yeah, we're having some time.
We are.
Yes. No, it's always fun. On all these, you come out in all these events on that. It's totally 100%. You will not find most of the politicians, if you walk up to them or say hi or that, or they're very conversational, very personal well, and as long as you're not yelling, screaming at them, or coming at them in mad, you will find that if you start talking to them or letting them know, if you don't tell them what's happening, maybe nobody else will. They won't know.
Well, as I get older, yelling and screaming might actually work better. No, here again. Unfortunately, it took me 66 years to get to the position where I actually felt comfortable making decisions. And doesn't mean that everybody has to be my age to be successful, but we all have our life experiences. And raising a family, 6 kids, all that. Bringing a lot of life experience to make some upcoming big challenges. I feel very confident and having good backing by people like you there and other things. We can get the message out and hopefully we can accomplish some really good things.
Yes, it is, and not that I could go on, but I want to get the state senator in here for a couple minutes. Yeah, yeah. And that, yeah. Roll in there.
I'm going to turn it over to my friend and former opponent.
Yes, these guys actually ran against each other.
We're not going to talk about this. He only beat me by 1 decimal point. And I finished high school in 6 years. It took him 7 years. So let me tell you. Here we go.
You got it. We're gonna.
Thank you.
We're gonna.
Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks for being on, Jeff. Here we go. We're miking up State Senator Mike. Yeah, Mike. That's always fun. State Senator Mike Morrell on there. He's been a long time politician. He's been in the Assembly, State Senate. We got about 5 minutes to go here. One thing, and I just heard if you've been onto it or talked about it, the whole thing on the gas prices, and yeah, you can hear us. But the whole thing on the gas prices, so we're paying $1.50 more a gallon on this stuff. And Gavin Newsom says, no, we're not diverting any money to trains and public transportation and all that. Give us a straight scoop on what's going on up there.
Okay, well, a couple things. 202, the voters voted that our gas tax should go for infrastructure.
Correct.
206, it happened again. 210 again, and each time the Democrats hijacked the money someplace else for bike trails, sand dune restoration up in Pismo Beach. Make a long story short, that's where we are. These are estimates from what I can recall from last year, but we're expected to bring in about $5.3 billion a year extra in gasoline tax revenue. And my understanding, the breakdown, they said, Senator Jim Bill, Democratic senator from San Jose, said, we're going to put a lockbox on it this time so it strictly goes towards infrastructure. Within 1 week, they unlocked that lockbox.
Yeah.
And now it's estimated $5.2 billion revenue. Sorry, it's a Democratic revenue. Revenue means money that business is spending. This is taxes.
Yes.
This is tax money that taxing there. $5.2 billion coming in. Make a long story short, it's expected between $150 million and $200 million will actually go for infrastructure. So where's the other $4 billion?
Yeah, it's incredible. We vote for this, like you said, we vote time and time again, and our politicians, the Democrats up there, now they have a supermajority to hose us under the ground to do
Well, here's why. Listen, a lot of people think, don't they have common sense? Let me share this. When we say that, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. Many of these guys, and this is not a Republican accusation, this is based on their votes and their bills they offer and vote on the floor. I believe many of my colleagues across the aisle, many seem to embrace the political ideologies of Marx and Lenin over those of Washington and Lincoln. And so what you have, they're not Americans like we're Americans, where we love the Constitution, freedom, liberty, and those kinds of things. They are socialists. 2 years ago, they called themselves progressive, which means they believe in expansion of the bureaucratic state. Today, they're calling themselves socialists. And I looked up the word Marxist. Marxist is just an extension of socialism, except by force. That's the next thing, because they want to control our property. They want to control how much money we make. They want to control how our kids are educated. That's unbelievable. So they are marching towards the Marxist ideology, which many of them learned in their college days.
We had about a minute left, and nothing I think translates more than this. 2018, overwhelmingly, the citizens voted against rent control. What was it, yesterday or the day before? Gavin Newsom signs a rent control bill.
Yeah, it's because remember, it's not about the people anymore. These guys believe they're elitist and that they know better than politicians. They even have horse speeches. Senator, he was from San Francisco, I don't recall his name, but about 2 years they get a horse speech. I had a bill that would give full disclosure to the parents in education, and he stood up. Members, can you imagine? We let the parents make these decisions. Remember, they're elitists. They believe they know better than the citizens, and that's why this state we've got to give, we've got to upgrade those people we send to represent our interests, and that's conservative people who believe in the Constitution as it was written originally.
You got it. Thanks for being on, State Senator Mike Morrell.
Thank you.
We got to get you in studio sometime and really break down some of this.
The only complaint is you let Jeff Hugh have more time than me.
Well, we'll render that. We'll take care of that.
That's Roy's
You
fault.
got
I
it.
had nothing to do with that.
You got it. That's a wrap for today. We found out a few more kinks we got to work out. Hopefully, we'll be back on at the SoCal Fair on Friday.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll have some better stuff. Maybe we're working on this background noise and stuff. Yeah, camera's working and all that. We're going to give it another shot. Hopefully, we'll get this perfected real soon so we can bring you more of these events each and that, because no better. Tell me who in the local media around here is covering events like this and having the people on. Nobody that I know of. You're only getting it on this station, on this show. So I hope everybody appreciates it, tunes in, tell everybody. If you want to know what's going on in the Inland Empire around this community, tune into this show, because we're bringing you all.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want us to cover anything that maybe we're not covering, if you have like a feel-good story that you want to share with us about the community or your school or anything like that, feel free to bring in.
I went as long as I could, Jesse.
Oh, no, I got you. They're done.
All right, that was brutal.